Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hangout Show on Monday nights. I'll be your host tonight. I'm Howie, and welcome everybody that we will be hearing from. And Eric sent me a very interesting. I think it's a good topic. Um, you know, what's your style of DJ? You want to tell us what you said there, Eric?
So, we do a lot of miles driving in our tours, and I come up with these ideas. We're just a lot of thinking
Yeah,
and just throwing ideas back and forth between
yeah,
myself and the guys. And something that struck me was, is it just me, or do other people have different styles for different crowds?
hmm
So what I said to you, Howard, was like, are you short mixing, are you club mixing, whatever you want to call it, or are you running full songs? When do you use that kind of style, and do you change it for different crowds? Was kind of, the thought that I
yeah.
had.
And you also mentioned, do you use remixes?
And when would you use a remix? Yeah. So, a couple different facets to my topic there, I guess.
All right. Well, you're already speaking, so give us your thoughts.
So, I'm trying to think of when I did this. I'm always throwing ideas out to you, but
hmm
take a wedding crowd versus, and I'll just do two different ideas: a wedding crowd versus a high school dance. You know, and during the night itself of a wedding, things can change a little bit. But basically, the classics have got to be full run. Even though you're playing Paradise, you got to run it full all the way through. You can't really quick mix those, is what I find in my area, and it might be different for different
hmm
parts of the country. And we'll hear from everybody here tonight. But quick mixing is not something that really goes well over at a more formal event versus a high school event where you can slam things out and kind of throw different ideas at the kids. And I find that the remix idea, we have a lot of great remixes. If you were to go through my phone, I've got a whole playlist of remixes. I love it. And is that because I hear the same songs over and over all the time? I want to hear something a little different. Or is it because it strikes me? So this idea is out to everybody out there. Do we get tired of the same music and we want to hear remixes? And because we like the remix, do other people like them? Or to them, does it sound kind of funky? Well, I've had people at a wedding come up and say, can't you just play the normal version? Is what they would say to me. And I'm like, oh, I really like the remix of Billie Jean, or I really like the remix of Don't Stop Believing. But other
hmm
people, they want to hear that original cut and they want to hear it in its entirety.
Yeah.
So what do
Yeah.
you guys think?
Well, you make a good point because you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. I mean, if you play a quick mix, they want to hear it. And then you have that other younger crowd that wants a quick mix. And yeah, and as far as remixes go, yeah, if I really like it, I'll play it. But I really like redrums for older stuff, you know? So, all right, who would like to go next? All right, we'll stick with the Eric theme and we'll go to Eric, who is in the upper right hand corner. DJ Eric, what are your thoughts?
All right. We heard from good guy Eric. Now you're going to hear from bad guy Eric.
Yin yang.
I was just trying to change my name to that when you called me, and I had to give up. But yeah, you know what? I think it all depends on who's in front of you, for one. Depending on whether you're going to slam mix, and I'm not much of a slam mixer. Never have been. And because or quick mixing, or however you're calling that, because just when people start really realizing what's playing, they come up and now you're into another song, they get mad at you. Like, what
Mm-hmm.
happened? I just get up here, you know.
They give
So
it the
I'm
eye.
not into the what's that?
They give you the eye look, the look. They turn at you and they go,
Yeah.
Yeah,
"What are you doing?"
Or
right.
this
Like,
thing.
yeah, yeah. So I've never been a big fan of the quick mix. I mean, I could do it just like we all can in here, but I'm not a big fan of doing it, especially at private parties or whatever. Now, a lot of like weddings, and I do believe they want to hear the originals,
Mm-hmm.
not so much a remix, or maybe a remix here or there, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to kill them with remixes all night because I don't think they're there for that, you know. Nor I don't think they're there for club mixing all night. And I know Buddy is a club mixer. Well, not a club mixer, but he likes to beat mix, everything.
Mm.
And maybe they're not there for that, but it's nice to beat mix, and I do it, but I don't do it all night. And I'll be honest, if I find the opportunity, I'll go into a little set to beat mix. But most of the time, it's playing the whole thing and coming out and whatever. But that's all I got on this. I mean, it depends on who's in front of me,
I appreciate it, Eric. Thank you so much. All right, up in my top right-hand corner, we have a fella called Matthew. Hello, Matthew. What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I guess I'm kind of a chameleon. I generally do karaoke for the most part. But there is one night that I am a DJ on Thursdays. And so I tend to get different crowds in that bar on a pretty frequent basis. So, and they all have different tastes in music. So there's like, we might have like a pop punk night one night, and we might do a country night another night, whatever. I can do the quick mix thing too. I'm all over the map. So I kind of just kind of feel out the crowd that I'm playing to and just kind of, feed off of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much. All right. Aaron, who has been so busy as of late, what do you got?
Yeah, I've been busy. It's good to see you all, and thanks to everybody who's tuning in. My style, I try to do I do sets of 4. I know the quick mixing stuff like that, but I'll play 4 in a genre. Like if it's an open format night, I'll do like 4 rock, 4 pop, 4 EDM. And when I go into certain types and certain genres of music, then I'll change it up a little bit and I'll quick mix it a little bit. But you really got to watch your crowd to see if they're into it or not. I watched a couple guys on Instagram, and they were quick mixing, and I saw one guy, he started playing a 90s banger, and you saw the table full of bridesmaids jump up, their head into the floor in his view, and he mixed out of the song when the words came out of her mouth, "This is my jam." So you really got to watch the people in front of you. Your style should be like, he should have known not to mix out of that song. Even though 90s dance is easy to do, that's easy to short mix. But I think he wasn't even, I think he'd hit the first chorus and he was out. And I'm like, you really got to watch what's in front of you for your style of mixing for that night or wherever you happen to be. It should be reflective of that. And I try to do like a little bit for everything when I'm doing my open format stuff and feel it out from there. So if they really liked that EDM type, like dance music stuff, and I'm short mixing it and the crowd's hitting the floor more, I know where I'm going to go with it. And then I'll do more of that. If it's a wedding, open format type wedding, I try not to short too many things here and there. Yeah. Towards the end of the night, I'll do it a little bit more, but in the beginning of the night, most people like my age and older, they want to hear the original. They want to hear the song, but the redrums are great. I know a lot of people do appreciate the redrums. But yeah, I let the crowd show me what they want. I'll put a little out there just to see what happens, and then I'll see the reaction. And then that's kind of where I feel my night's going to go.
Yeah, Brian has mentioned that a few times. Throw something against the wall, see what sticks, and
100%.
Move on from there. What do you think, Brian?
I think it's weird when people commit to one style of anything. And they're all tools in your toolbox. And if there's something that bugs me as an audience member, it's a predictable entertainer who's going to do exactly what you think they're going to do. You don't have to even, I bet they're going to play this next, or here we go, another 8-bar transition. Gets old after a while. So I think if you change up your transitions, you change up your style of mixing. And as far as remixes go, I wanted to touch on that. There are some songs that need all the help they can get. And when those songs happen, the remix is great. Not all number 1 hits are number 1 dance hits. So if there's something that needs a little help, give us some help and do the remix. But if the song It's 4/4 time, 4 on the floor. Why? I never understood why you would play the remix if the song stands on its own just fine. But that's me personally. So if the song needs help, it gets the remix. If it's for a dancing thing, but if it doesn't need the help, leave it alone. People like original stuff. Familiar, I think, is key, especially with older tracks. Familiar is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thought I had was, when it comes to the quick mixing thing, a lot of the advocates for that, they talk about you must do it all night. The beat mixers, you must do it all night. You must start at this BPM and end at this BPM. I'm not that dude. The quick mix thing is another tool that you can use, and the best way I've seen it used is with my friend Art, who does a lot of the quinceañeras. And in the Latin community, yeah, they want to hear whatever their regional tracks are, plus the new songs. But freestyle's big too. But you don't want to do an hour of freestyle. So what Art does is he'll mash up, and quick mix. You guys didn't invent this stuff. We had mashups. We had crazy edits and all kinds of stuff way back in the olden days too. He'll do like maybe 10 or 15 minutes of the hottest freestyle tracks in a quick mix style, and it satisfies the audience. Even back in the 90s, play Elvis. On those DJ tools, there was
those stars on 45 records or whatever.
Going back, that wasn't the Beatles, but it was a great track. I love that.
Yeah, Bad Bunny you're going for, right? He did
Jive Bunny.
What is it?
Jive Bunny.
That's Swing the Mood, Jive Bunny. Yeah. And that's kind of a medley of all of the Glenn Miller songs, and Stars on 45 did the Elvis thing, and they did the ABBA thing.
The Beatles.
And then there was a really cool Elvis medley where you could hit all the Elvis in like 4 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like more Elvis than you can shake a stick at. That's a cool way to use that style.
It is. I used it once and it went over great, and then we moved on, and it was a great way to get that 50s out of the way, because predominantly the dance floor was 40 and under. So, okay, now, I can't. Ken, is that you, K Dog from DK Productions?
That's Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah. Kevin makes up his own name.
I make up my own name.
It's an Ohio thing.
Yeah,
just like that guy.
Yeah,
he's in the witness protection.
That's right. Yeah, sometimes I'm K-Tel, K-Dog, whatever. I'm in Ohio, and as a result, I'm in a rural area. So rural areas tend to be, I think, more traditional. So they will want the original song played out. If I was in more of the bigger markets, like the Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati area, those are areas that I think are more conducive to that. But where I am, it's not overly welcomed. I have one school that I know has a DJ there, and another, my friend DJ, the kids supposedly are not thrilled that this company that does their events is a mixing company. But they don't pay the bill. So, but I'm more of a traditional. I will roll the song out to the end, try to match up the song with another song that matches beat wise, and sort of roll into the next one. But I go above and beyond that. I will throw out and give out papers, and it's like, hey, write down your favorite songs, bring them up. So I use that to sort of glean what is popular with the people. I do that for kid events. I do that for weddings. I do that everywhere. The other things I will do at weddings is I'm more of a party DJ. I don't have to play music all the time. I've done some where they're drinking people, and during my breaks, it's like, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're familiar with any drinking games, but I'm up for that if you are. And they go ape shit, so to speak, crazy for those. So I will, stop the dance floor, and we'll all get in a circle. I make sure they get their drinks, and we play a little Thunderstruck drinking game. So everybody, I tend to be a party, have a good time, music, and if they want to do other activities, I'm all for it.
All right. Thank you very much there, Kevin. And we will go to our Chicago friend, Buddy. What say you? How are you?
I'm fine. And good always to see everyone. And I don't know when this video is going to come out, but I want to say, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and all the our holidays to everyone out there. When I know Eric was saying that I like to beat match. I do like to beat match parts of the wedding. Other parts you kind of blend into or flow into because some songs you don't beat match into. Right. But I feel that you have to look at like Aaron talked about. You have to look at what the crowd is doing. You have to see what people are doing with the heads bopping, feet tapping. What are the crowd is doing? Where do you want to take them? Where do you want to work with them? And Brian's also 100% right too. You can't just do one thing all night, and because people get bored with it. But I am not a fan of quick mixing all the time. Some songs, you can get in and out a little quicker, but I would probably say 95% of the songs that I play on a night at a wedding, I probably play about 90% of that song or 92% of that song. There's a little, in or out, you're coming from the beginning or the end. But I don't like to shortchange people because, again, a lot of times people are there to have fun, enjoy themselves. Especially you got grandma on the dance floor. You don't want her to be disappointed because she didn't hear all of a song or anyone else. And Aaron, that story about the bridesmaids hearing the song going on the floor, and you're seeing them going on there, and all of a sudden the DJ switches out the song, and they're disappointed. I don't want people like that. So I want people when they hear songs, sometimes it takes a second or two for them to figure out they're drinking something or in the restroom or whatever to get out there and do stuff. Quick mixes, what other New York Eric was talking about. I do like some quick mixes, but it all boils down to what they are. The redrums, like you talked about Howie before, I do like a lot of the redrums because they give a little more bass hit than what they originally recorded in the 80s or the 90s or 70s. So sometimes those redrums are really good. But I will tell you that also edits from promo only, they got some real good edits. I would definitely say they have some great music there to deal with.
Sure. Thank you, Buddy. And last but not least, my old road dog.
The road dog. It's a road dog moment.
John Crawley. Yep.
Of course. All great points from everyone across the panel, of course. As for style of mixing, there are some songs that aren't meant to be messed with. Like you don't quick mix September, Sweet Carolina, where I live, or it's just taboo. You don't cut a song, and some songs need to get to the end to really fulfill the purpose of the song. I guess I like the idea of being able to show the crowd in front of you that they hired a DJ that knows how to mix. Because that's part of it. If they just wanted to hear a Spotify list that just have a phone plugged in, and you wouldn't be there. You got to show them a little something. You try to mix where you can. Dance music goes with dance music from the 70s to the now. If you get something between 115 and 128, it's easy to put that stuff together and make people dance. So if you've got a groove on the floor and you've got people out dancing to the 90s, then maybe you can do verse chorus, jump into another 90s verse chorus, jump in, because they're out there for that you want to give them, like Aaron had said, like 4-song pockets. You give them something. They're out there for that. If they like this one, they're going to love this one. They'll stay for the next one. But then you rotate. Even at the wedding, you don't want too many of the same people out on the dance floor too long. They get tired, and you're jumping in and out of music from the 60s to something that the bridesmaids want to hear, to go back to something classical, to something, instrumental dance or slow dance or something like that. But to keep the crowd engaged, sometimes you got to hit them with the left turn. If everything is just monotonous, like we call it that EDM mixing, where you're just playing two of the same beat songs together for 15 straight minutes, and you can't tell where the song ends and the song begins.
Right.
It's just lifeless, So you have to add your own, deliver your own bit of personality in there, I guess, and make good decisions based on what you see on the dance floor as to whether you cut something short or let it run. That's kind of my style.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, John.
Sure.
And before we close, I will just say one thing that I've considered a golden rule for me was always play the full version if it's a sing along and they're singing along. You'd have to be dumb as a bag of hammers to quick mix out of something. The floor is going crazy and they're actually singing to it. And that's your opportunity to use your fader to come down on the chorus and let them sing the chorus and wave their lightsabers and whatnot. And so thank you guys for helping out this evening. And we will close this out and say, hey,